been busy. We've got a lot done. The engine's on, and we're heading down the slipway for the first time. Let's see how she goes.
Always happy. Edward's and his new toy.
Well, we're off. Boat's launched, Gav's on board, and result, first thing first, she floats. He's got himself a little blue moon.
Aboard the blue moon.
Aboard the blue moon.
It's a blue moon.
Having a blue moon. And we're just coming up to the water ski area so we can see what she goes like. So let's give her a little bit of a... Just me, my maid and my Johnson. Got a coat hook. We got all the gear. We got a speedboat coming up here, so it'll be interesting to see what it goes like through the waves. Something rattling that's doing my head in, but he's certainly going for it there. I don't know what sort of speed we're doing now, but we've got to be pushing 20 odd knots. Let's see what it goes like through this. Stick it head first.
Head first in some weight.
Ease off a little bit, and it's our first time. Very nice. That's gone well through that. 26 knots.
26 knots on Blue Moon.
Our Gav's found what's having a little rattle. We're giving it a hammer, and he's giving it a little stability test on the back.
Oh mate, she's a solid boat.
Sits all right.
Very sturdy boat, that's for sure. I'll tell you what, there's no hardly any bumps.
No.
You can tell the double skin and the strength of it.
Just holds it, doesn't it? It feels solid. Even going through these little ripples.
Mate, she's a solid boat.
That's it, the test run, the water test, the sea test, the sea trial has taken place. Pretty impressed, to be honest. We went through some decent weights, and it took a good old smack, and it went through them rather than sort of over. Tough decision, but I think she's beating the Alaska at the moment.
26 knots.
26 knots.
26 knots recorded.
She was a flying. She was a flying. So go home and have a think about what I'm going to do. I think I already know.
It's a very comfortable boat.
It's very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
What a finish to a day. Wheels falling off the trailer. Luckily there was no boat on it, and the trailer was going anyway. Oh dear, oh dear.